Hey everyone, welcome to my very first long form video. I'm honestly so happy you're here. In this video, we're basically just going to hang out together. I'll be driving, you can sit back, relax, maybe grab a cup of coffee or tea. And we're just going to talk. Well, technically, I'm going to talk and you're going to listen. But seriously, I really want these videos to feel like we're just spending some time together. Nothing too serious, nothing too perfect. Just a little bit of driving, a little bit of talking, and hopefully some moments that make you feel less alone. And while you're watching, I'd really love for you to leave a comment and tell me what you want me to talk about next. You can also share your own experiences in the comments. Maybe sometimes that you struggled with something you learned or something you're currently trying to overcome. Because I really believe that sometimes hearing someone else's experience can make us feel like, oh, so I'm not the only one going through this. And maybe we can actually help each other grow. So for my first long video, I wanted to talk about something I personally struggled with for a really long time: perfectionism. And honestly, perfectionism and procrastination have been like two annoying little brothers following me around everywhere. They constantly together. I used to think that procrastination simply meant being lazy. If I kept putting things off, I would tell myself, okay, I'm just being lazy. But the more I learning about myself, the more I realized that wasn't really the problem. Sometimes procrastination has nothing to do with laziness. Sometimes you're actually procrastinating because you care too much. You know exactly what you need to do. You have the idea. You have the time. You might even have all the tools you need. But somehow you just can't start. You clean your room, you organize your files, you check your phone, you answer message. You suddenly decide that this is the perfect time to reorganize your entire life. Anything, everything except the one thing you actually need to do. And then you look at the clock and realize, oh my god, the whole day is gone. That was me. And for a long time, I didn't understand why I was doing this. But then I realized that a huge part of it comes from perfectionism. Because when you're a perfectionist, you don't just want to do something. You want to do it perfectly. You want the timing to be perfect. You want conditions to be perfect. You want to have the perfect idea, the perfect equipment, the perfect mood, and if even one little thing isn't right, your brain goes. Maybe we should wait. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe when I feel more motivated. Maybe when I know exactly what I'm doing. And this was something I struggled with for years. I will spend so much time preparing to do something that I barely had any time left to actually do it. And the funny thing is, from the outside, it can actually look like you're being productive. You're researching, you're planning, you're preparing, you're watching tutorials, you're making a list, but sometimes it's just procrastination wearing a really nice outfit. I wasn't always avoiding the work. Sometimes I was avoiding the possibility of not being good enough. Because when you're a perfectionist, starting something can feel scary. The moment you start, there's a change that the result won't look the way you imagine it in your head. And that can be really uncomfortable. But that's not how creativity works. That's not how learning works. And honestly, that's not how life works either. You have to be willing to make something that isn't perfect. You have to be willing to make mistakes. You have to be willing to look at something you created and think, okay, this could definitely be better. And then just keep going. Because I've learned that doing something imperfectly is still doing something. For example, even recording this video could have turned into a whole perfectionist project. I could have spent days thinking about what I should say. I could have rewritten this script 100 times. I could have waited until everything was perfectly organized. But this time I decided to do something different. I found my references. I prepared the things I actually needed. I got everything ready, and then ding! I pressed the record button. That's it. And I still struggle with it sometimes. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I completely cured my perfectionism. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I completely cured my perfectionism. Absolutely not. It still comes back. Sometimes I still overthink. Sometimes I still spend too much time preparing. But the difference is that now I can recall. But the difference is that now I can recognize it. I can couch myself. And when I notice that I'm spending too much time preparing instead of actually doing the things, I try to stop and ask myself, am I actually preparing, or am I just scared to start? Because sometimes you don't need another tutorial. You don't need another plan. You don't need another 5 hours of research. You don't need another 5 hours, or you don't need another 5 hours of research. You just need to start. Make the first ugly version. Write the first line, record the first video, write the first sentence, take the first step. You can always improve something that already exists, but you can't improve something you never started. I don't have to be perfect, and neither do you. Not perfection, just progress. And let yourself be a beginner, because sometimes the version of you who starts imperfectly is much stronger than the version of you who keeps waiting to be perfect. And now I'm going to stop talking before this turns into a whole therapy session. But seriously, I really want to hear from you. Do you struggle more with perfectionism, procrastination, or both? And if you found a way to deal with it, please share it. Maybe something that worked for you could help someone else reading the comments. For now, I'm just going to keep driving, and you can keep me company. Thank you so much for being here for my very first language. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. you.